I knew it would take sacrifices. I knew it would take months and years of blood, sweat, and tears to reach the grades that I was achieving. But that's how you get to the top 5%. No one was doing what I was doing. No one was achieving the grades I was achieving. As Gary Vaynerchuk used to say, to be an anomaly, you've got to act like one. And that was my mantra. If you do exactly what everyone else is doing, then by its very definition, you will become average. And if you're happy with average, then so be it. That's fine. But I know you're capable of so much more. You only have one life. It doesn't have to be average. Make the most of it. No one at your university has ever achieved extraordinary grades that didn't have huge obstacles they had to overcome. Obstacles that every student has. Obstacles that you're experiencing right now, trying to stop you from fulfilling your potential. At first, it's the motivation and discipline that keeps you going. But the motivation and discipline can only help you short term. It's the passion you have within you that keeps you going. Not just the passion for studying and learning new things, but the passion for improving yourself. The passion for striving to become a better person each day. It's the passion to building a growth mindset that will help you become phenomenal in the long term.
And if you know anyone with a growth mindset, if you know anyone around you that is focused on pursuing their dreams, that is dedicated to becoming the best version of themselves every day, you'll probably notice they seem a lot happier. They have an optimism about them that other people just don't have. And it's something that's so difficult to explain, but when you get there, you'll know exactly what I mean. I was not the smartest in my class, or the wealthiest, or even the most academic, but my goals were clear. I knew exactly what I wanted to achieve. I was focused in on that 4.0, and nothing could take me away from achieving my goal. I knew what I needed to do. I knew what it was going to take to graduate in the top 5% of the university. I knew I needed to study every single night when I got home. And when I started to get tired, that was the time when I needed to carry on. Because when I started to get tired, I knew at that point, most of the people in my class were going to give up and watch TV or watch Netflix, but I hadn't come this far just to be average. So I kept pushing and kept studying. I knew that if I missed even one night, it could snowball into 2 nights, 3 nights, 4 nights. Everything I did was to take one step closer to achieving my goals. I'd wake up at 5 a.m., go straight to the gym. I'd be at the library by 6:30 before most people were even awake. By the time classes started at 9 a.m., I had already been studying for 2.5 hours. And once classes had finished at 4 p.m., I'd go home, eat, and get a few hours more studying in before bed. It was hard work, but I did what it took. Your educational journey is going to be hard. I can promise you that. There are 2 paths you can take, the easy road or the hard road. If you choose the hard road, it means you choose to study when your friends are out partying. You start writing your report when the rest of the class don't even know the deadline yet. You're already awake at 5 a.m., on your way to the library when the rest of your friends are still sleeping. If you can find enough focus and motivation to do these hard things, the things that everyone else struggles with, then your educational journey will be easy. The grades will be easy. The scholarships will be easy. But it's a choice that you have to consciously make. You have to step up and take that path. And it will be lonely at times. It will feel like you're the only one doing this. But that's the whole point. The whole idea of this is to be standing at the top of the mountain while everyone else is still at the bottom. Because you took the path that so many people are unwilling to take. Okay, so you know where you want to be, at the top of that mountain. But why aren't you there yet? Why is it that you're stopping yourself from getting there? Why is it that you just settle for the grades that you're getting? Because doing well at school and university, it's not easy. It's difficult to get good grades. It takes a lot of focus, a lot of sacrifice, a lot of late nights and early mornings. But it's absolutely worth it. You are in charge of the life you live. And when you're in charge, you study hard, regardless of how you're feeling. Whether you're feeling lazy, tired, stressed, frustrated, bored, it doesn't matter. This doesn't stop you.
It's the easiest way to turn your grades around. Changing your attitude about your studying. It's when you decide that the grades you're achieving right now are not representative of what you're able to achieve. Because what you'll notice is that these students that are getting the top grades, their attitude towards their studying is completely different to those that are achieving the lowest grades. Attitude is more important than circumstances, more important than failures, more important than successes, more important than money. It's even more important than talent or skill. And we have a choice every day. What attitude are we going to have when approaching our studying? You can't change what grades you were given up to now. You can't change the exams that you failed. But you can change the attitude you have towards your studying today. And you know, it's going to be hard. You know there's going to be ups and downs, but that's what's going to make it worth it in the end. If you really want it enough, when it comes to graduation day, you're going to look in the mirror and say, I did this. Despite all the obstacles and setbacks, I did it. And that feeling you will have of accomplishment and triumph will be like nothing you've ever experienced. It's a feeling you will take with you for the rest of your life. So when it's time to study and your automatic reaction is to fight it and procrastinate, take a few minutes to think about it. Think about what you're doing. That small decision of choosing to procrastinate is you choosing to settle with what you have. Push past it. Study.
One of the big differences is that the A-grade student goes to work. He sits down and overcomes resistance. It doesn't matter if he's feeling tired or he's had a long day. It doesn't matter how he's feeling. He sits down and he goes to work. And he has pride in that. You've got to ask yourself, why do I want to become an A-grade student? I'll tell you the reason why it was important for me when I was at university. It was because I wanted to be the best version of myself, so I could train myself to be wiser, think faster, work more efficiently, and ultimately, I knew that all those challenges that came up were training for the next challenges in life. As Anthony Cheam once said, if your goal is to get an A grade overall in your exams in 6 months' time, and you're only working at C grade level right now, then the amount you need to study needs to increase by at least 50%. If you continue studying the way you are, you'll continue getting the same grades you're getting. If you're studying 2 hours at nighttime, then you need to move up to 3 hours, then 4, then eventually 5. If you don't train the muscle, when it comes time to do the actual exam, you're not going to be able to achieve that A grade. An A grade student takes full responsibility for what shows up in their life. There's a whole load of problems that show up daily in our lives that we have no control over. The weather, the economy, the government, illness. A lot of that we can't control. However, would you not agree that becoming the best version of yourself, upgrading your skills, obtaining the best qualifications you can, would that not put you in a better, stronger position to deal with everything that gets thrown at you? Do you think that upgrading yourself and becoming a wiser, smarter, more driven and successful person would benefit the people around you that you love? Of course it would.
But I'm not so easily convinced and naive to think that getting good grades is as easy as pressing a button, and within seconds you're getting A grades and your life is better. You may not be able to get to this level of studying in a matter of seconds or minutes, but it's easily possible to achieve it in a matter of weeks or months if we just consciously choose to face what's in front of us. And the first step is to just get things done. Get your studying done. If you say you're going to study 3 hours tonight, then do it. Because when you start to get things done, you'll realize that you'll start to have more success. And sometimes a big part of success is just not being lazy and just doing what you know you have to do. 90% of it is just showing up. Just show up and do the work. You're not going to feel perfect every day, and it's the same with every student in your class that's achieving A grades right now. If those students only studied when they felt in the mood to study, they'd be getting C's and D's right now, because everyone has those days where we just don't feel like studying. There's gotta be those days that you just have to push through. There might even be more days when you don't feel like it than when you do. But that's okay, we've all been there. And the top 1%, they push through it. If you're chasing grades, then you might as well just give up now. The grades are nothing. There's nothing there. It's not the grades you should be chasing, it's the individual that is capable of achieving those grades that you should be chasing. Those students that are achieving a 4.0 GPA, you've got to study their character, because that's when you'll start to see exactly what it takes. The daily habits that are followed religiously, the hours of studying late at night while everyone else is sleeping, the 100% attendance in class. And when you study the characters of people getting poor grades, you'll see failure everywhere. You'll see it all falling apart. The procrastination taking control, the lack of drive and focus, skipping classes when they just don't feel like it.
It's your choice you have to make. Are you moving forward on a journey to better yourself? Or are you sat down and giving in, throwing in the towel, making do with what you have, not willing to take the risk? Because that's what most people are doing. They don't give a damn about achieving anything in their life. You can see it in their actions, in their behavior. So don't be most people.
Ed Milet, one of the top peak performance experts on the planet, explains it like this. Failure and setbacks, students quitting, failing the exams, having retakes, dropping out, it's all going to happen. Just get ready. Don't give in to that stuff. Don't give in to the fears. Don't give in to the setbacks. You're gonna have failures. It's part of the journey. And when you get weak, when your classmates give up, when your friends tell you you shouldn't be studying so much, or that you're not good enough, or that there's something better, or whatever they tell you, you remember why you're doing it.
You've got to have a persistent attitude that you're gonna win. You got to have a positive outlook. You got to be optimistic. You got to know you're gonna win. Right now, you need to believe you're gonna win. Because, listen to me, the price you pay for not being the best version of yourself is too extreme. You'll have to carry the burden of failure for the rest of your life.
Start to stand up a little taller. Start to walk more confidently. Start becoming the best version of you. You can do it quietly in your own way. You can do it in the way you want. But somehow they gotta look at you and think, okay, I ain't gonna mess with that one. You're gonna have to put up with some failures. You're gonna have to put yourself into some uncomfortable places. Listen to me. Do it. Put yourself into an uncomfortable place. Don't negotiate. Don't try to navigate it in your head. Unrealistic people rule the world.